Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I always ask you to use your intuition to pick the stone that is calling you. And then we ask that Spirit light up your intuition to listen to the interpretation and pick out the details that Spirit wants you to know. All right. For those of you who chose this little robin egg blue stone that looks like a robin egg, we have the Lovers, we have the Moon, and we have the Eight of Swords. So the Lovers card, it can be about your love life and a nice time that you may have with someone you love or something coming in. Yes, maybe even brought by the angels, some good loving energy, but it can also be about self-love. It can be about love from Spirit, love from the angels, receiving that and then living a more abundant existence in the Garden of Eden kind of thing. And the Moon is great intuition. There may be something though that is puzzling, and so murky, you don't know how it's going to go. And that might have the effect of making you think that things are worse than they are, or making you think you're kind of trapped in something, or maybe just the thoughts are a little tough. These are thoughts. The Eight of Swords woman, she's surrounded by thoughts that seem like they're barriers, but they do not have to be. So I think sometimes that card comes up to point out to us that our thoughts are kind of ruining a good time for us, really, with this Lover card and the Moon card and the intuitive, connectedness. It's like, okay, now these thoughts that are worrisome, that make you feel trapped, like there's some things you can't do anything about, maybe it's time to set those aside. And not that you have to figure it all out right now, but look instead for this and for this in your life. So these are beautiful cards. All right, for those of you who chose this fossil, it's sort of like fossilized corals. We have all minor arcana. We have the Five of Swords, we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Ten of Coins. Okay, the Five of Swords can sometimes be winning at any cost. It can sometimes just be, these are minor arcana, by the way, so it could just be the mood somebody's in, right? But the Five of Swords is, there's a certain, okay, I'm right. I'm calling myself the victor. I don't care what anyone thinks about it. There's sort of that winning at any cost kind of thing. There may be somebody in your environment or somebody you're listening to who's kind of like that. But the Four of Swords, the advice given is retreat from that kind of discussion because it's going nowhere anyway. Well, like these two are, right? They are retreating from that kind of talk or rhetoric or arguing. They're just... The Four of Swords is also about taking good care of you. It's about putting your worries and some of the overthinking that we tend to do, putting it aside and just taking good care of us. Making it our priority instead of solving anything or figuring anything out or fixing anything, just making that our priority for a while and resting, whether that's resting the body or the mind. And the Ten of Coins is nice and reassuring. It's sort of saying, yeah, you can do that. You can take care of yourself. You've built up a lot of security. You're at a level of stability in your life that like things are not going to fall apart. If you retreat for a bit, things aren't going to fall apart. It's going to be okay. So, I mean, I like these cards. I like these cards. And I like the option given. We don't even have to engage with any kind of discussion that is just, when the other person isn't willing to listen, isn't there in a receptive way. That's okay. That means they should go off and take good care of themselves so they get to the place where they have the strength to listen. So, but in the meantime, you can take care of yourself. Yes. For those of you who chose this black stone with the white, actually it's a dark stone, I think it has amethyst in it, with the white stripe, we have all minor arcana, so not a big deal, but we have 7 of cups, we have 8 of wands, we have page of wands. Boy, what a purposeful day. There may be some things that are a little murky to you in the future. You're not sure what comes in. And that 7 a lot of times encourages us to believe that positive things will come in, because these cups largely contain positive things. So it's sort of like, well, if there are some things you don't know about your future, how about you build some castles in the air? How about you open up your mind to thinking about what wonderful things could come in, you could be a part of. Now, you're not worrying though today with this card, because look at the purposeful behavior here. You are moving everything together. It's moving forward in a concerted way. Your priorities are being furthered. And the Page of Wands is, you're doing it by just doing one thing at a time. Picking up one goal or purpose at a time. And that's so nice, you know, to have some confidence that, yes, my priorities, none of them are falling to the ground. None of them are being lost. They're all moving forward in a concerted way. Sometimes we don't feel like they are, but they are. And the Page of Wands is, I'm going to do one thing at a time and enjoy that one thing. Yes. So that could be the meaning of these cards. Of course, the meaning of these cards can sometimes be, sometimes it is about things we're observing, like this man is observing. So sometimes it's about not just us, but something we're observing, we're part of. And this can be, you know, things moving ahead very quickly on a number of fronts, and it can be a new direction. Yes. But I see so much positivity in these cards. A lot of energy with the wands, some fire, but it's not out of control. It's all moving forward in the right direction. For those of you who chose this purple stone, we have 2 major arcana, and we have the 9 of wands. So this is very clear. With the 9 of wands, that man is guarded. You know, he feels a little embattled, a little beleaguered, and like he's had these battles. And he's still standing. He's got a wound. He's got, you know, on the head. So sometimes I feel like that can signify a real wound, or just his feeling battle weary. You know what I mean? A psychological kind of, yeah, I'm kind of beat up here. But he's holding his wand. He is not giving up. He is definitely ready for whatever comes. But look at the cards that are near him. Right away, the Star card. Do you think he needs to be guarded? I don't think so. I think Spirit is definitely saying, since that's a major arcana, please have hope. Please, you know, you've gotten used to looking for the next thing that is going to be a challenge. But maybe it's time to hope. And the Hermit is telling you that anytime you take apart, anytime that you reflect and meditate perhaps, is going to be rich. You know, the Hermit can live alone because he's not alone. You know, he is communing with Source, Spirit, God, whatever he wants to call it, whatever you would like to call it. He is not alone. And he may have the lamp. He may only be looking at the steps in front of him, but that's meditative too, isn't it? We don't have to have a 10-point plan. You know, these are more about an attitude of hope. And look at, this is at the nighttime too. They're both in the night. An attitude of hopefulness coming out of something difficult. And maybe we don't see the whole thing in front of us, but that's really okay. We can sometimes just sit with the spiritual message to us, which is definitely one of hope. So those are terrific cards. Well, I do hope you all have a wonderful day, and you take care. Bye-bye.